Okay, we're going to break down one of the most personal and honestly painful scams out there. It's a story that plays out every single day, and it all starts with a message. A message that's almost impossible for a parent to ignore.
See, it starts so simply. A message on WhatsApp, it looks familiar, it feels totally safe. It's the kind of thing a mother has seen 1,000 times before. But this one's different.
And boom, there's the hook. Those words, serious situation and urgently, they're not just words. They're emotional triggers designed to completely bypass logic and go straight for the heart. And right here, this is the masterstroke of the whole scam. This is the instruction that makes it all work. It creates the perfect excuse to avoid the one single thing that would expose the entire lie, a simple phone call. I want you to just imagine being that parent for a second. In that instant, your whole world shrinks down to the size of that chat window. All you can think about is your child. The person you love more than anything is in trouble. At this point, logic has completely left the building. You see, the scammer isn't really targeting her bank account. They're targeting her love. This is an emotional attack, and that powerful primal instinct to protect her child is the only thing that matters in that moment.
So the request for money comes, and she doesn't hesitate, not for a second. She doesn't question it. Why would she? When your child says they need help, you help. It's that simple. She sends the money.
So the money's gone, hours go by, that initial panic has probably faded a little bit, but that worry is still there, just sitting in the pit of her stomach. And then the phone rings, and it's her actual child.
And there it is, that devastating, gut-wrenching realization, that feeling of dread when you understand you weren't helping your child, you were being robbed by a complete stranger who used your love as a weapon. So what this mother went through, it actually has a name. It's called an impersonation scam, and it's a really sophisticated and cruel type of fraud that relies completely on psychological manipulation. So how do they build this perfect disguise? Well, they've got a whole toolkit. They'll just copy a profile picture they find online, they use the name you know, they invent some kind of crazy crisis that needs you to act right now, and they are banking, literally, on your emotions completely clouding your judgment. Which brings us to the single most important lesson in all of this. The one thing that can stop this scam cold. You must, and I mean always, verify before sending money, no matter what, no exceptions. But that's the hard part, isn't it? The whole scam is designed from the ground up to make you panic. It's meant to stop you from thinking clearly. So how are you supposed to cut through that fear and get to the truth? Well, it's actually simpler than you think. First things first, ignore their excuses and call the number you already have saved for that person. If for some reason they don't pick up, ask a question only the real person would know the answer to. And maybe most importantly, just pause. Give yourself 30 seconds to just breathe and think. Here's an easy way to think about it. If a total stranger showed up at your front door claiming to be a friend of your child and asking for money, you would ask a ton of questions, right? You'd be suspicious. We need to have that exact same level of healthy skepticism for urgent requests that come through a screen. And the most painful part of this whole thing is that the people who fall for these scams aren't foolish. They aren't careless. They are victims precisely because of their greatest strength, their incredible capacity to love and care for their family. Okay, so this next part is for all of you out there with parents or older relatives you want to protect. This isn't about scolding them or making them feel bad. It's about equipping them. Let's walk through how you can have this conversation. Teach them this one simple sentence. Seriously, make it a mantra. If it's urgent money, it's urgent to verify. The urgency isn't a reason to rush. It's actually a giant red flag, a signal to stop and check. The more urgent they say it is, the more urgent it is for you to get proof. And let's give them a specific tool they can use. You can actually work together to create a few secret questions. Make them personal, make them memorable, something totally impossible for a stranger to guess just by looking at Facebook. A scammer will get it wrong or they'll try to change the subject, and that's the giveaway you're looking for. So please share this with them. Have that conversation. Because in our digital world, sometimes the most loving thing we can possibly do is teach each other to be just a little more suspicious, so we can protect the very people who would do anything to protect us.